halfway through week one, um, I don't feel a ton better, but I think it's working. Um, I've definitely been pushing myself to do things that I'm not comfortable with. I've been committed to following out what I have scheduled for myself, and I plan to continue doing that. There have been times when it's been really difficult, and I think that's to be expected. It's not going to go 100% smooth every time. But I've also had moments where I felt like truly comfortable in these situations I put myself in, and they don't last forever. But just the fact that I've had them is I think a good sign that if I keep on this path, those will become more and more frequent. But the important thing is to keep upping the bar. So eventually, the things I'm doing now are not going to be terribly difficult. And when that happens, that's when you have to push the barrier, push the next step, make it more difficult again. Like I went to the movie theater today, and I sat in a row that had I had people behind me, and then I sat in a row like on one side, and on the other side there were a few people. It was definitely like pretty uncomfortable for me. But the next step would be to sit in a row with more people, or even even go to like a really popular crowded theater and have like someone on either side of you, which is absolutely terrifying to me. But it's definitely something I'm going to do. Um, so the most important part is to keep doing these things, and that's the number one thing, most important. But number two, and which helps, I think you have to be in the right frame of mind for exposure therapy to work best, I think. And for me, getting in the right frame of mind involves just repeating phrases to myself that help me kind of approach the situation correctly. So a lot of times what I would do is I'd go into a situation and I'd be just completely uncomfortable, and I everyone around me I would just be annoyed with that they were even there, because I'm so uncomfortable, and I'm just annoyed that everyone's around me. And so what I have to repeat to myself is I'm 100% cool with those around me. I'm 100% okay that they're there. I'm fine with it. I have to repeat myself. I have to repeat that to myself, or else I'll get so annoyed and just resentful of people just being around me because they make me anxious. And I think that shows in my body language when I do these things. If I go into a situation just completely just resentful already of the people around me and just not even wanting them to be there, then I'm not really accomplishing anything. I'm just sitting there and just being mad, and it doesn't help me. And I think it shows on my body language. I'm just like hunched over, and people are like, what's wrong with that guy, or stuff like that. And so I just repeat myself, I'm 100% cool with those around me. And the other thing I repeat to myself is no matter what happens, I'm going to stay with myself. And so if what I would constantly do is just focus on other people, and I'm just looking for any sign that they're not approving of me, right? I'm just searching constantly for these signs that people are not approving of me. And I think that's not a good way to go into an exposure situation. Just constantly razor focused on everyone, because you're not dealing with your own feelings and your own self. So what I just say is I'm 100%, no matter what happens, I stay with myself. And so I'm just staying present with my body, my thoughts, my feelings. And I'm just sitting with that. And that's when you kind of feel the anxiety kind of come in more, and you just kind of let it in, and you just feel it and sit with it, and you just stay with it. And I think that, it's painful at first, but it's just the brain's way of signaling that something might be wrong. It signals like, hey, something might be up here. And if you just sit with that feeling, and your subconscious eventually realizes, okay, we've sat with this feeling for a while and nothing bad has happened, maybe I'll ease up on the anxiety that I'm sending you. And I think that's the whole point of exposure therapy. You sit with that until your mind convinces itself that there's actually nothing wrong. But you have to face it and sit with it. So yeah, I have to, just remember to breathe, and I repeat those two things to myself. I'm 100% cool with those around me, and no matter what happens, I stay with myself. And I breathe, and I feel my breath, and I sit with it. And that's helping. So I'll continue on and let you guys know at the end of week 1 how things are going.